Hi, my name is Timothy Dixon, Analytics Sales Specialist at AWS. I'm here to talk to you today about a topic that is very close to my heart, machine learning. More specifically, I want to talk about our experiences operationalizing a machine learning framework with one of our most prominent customers here in Malaysia, Maxis. Maxis is one of Malaysia's largest telecommunications companies, and they are a leader in digital innovation. I'm joined here by my colleague Adarsh, who is an Aiml specialist here at AWS. Now, across this session, we will start by discussing machine learning in general, with key use cases and challenges within the telco industry. Adarsh will then share the Maxis story, the specific goals that Maxis had in mind and the processes that they put in place to create a market-leading functionality in AIML. Lastly, we will discuss how any organization can get started with AWS on the machine learning journey through our well-architected framework. So let's get started with some context on AIML and the telco industry. Telecommunications is a very data-rich industry. It is literally the definition of big data, with information on subscribers, usage patterns, and network operations just as the tip of the iceberg. Leveraging and harnessing all this information is absolutely paramount to business success. Like any organization, telcos are putting in their extra mile to create positive and unique experiences for their customers. Central to this is the need to understand your customers, their attributes and their interactions and their preferences, and to channel these into targeted and personalized experiences. Every customer should be engaged, whether proactively or reactively, with seamless and relevant customer interventions, and with products and services that align to their needs. Machine learning for customer experience can channel information in real time for targeted interventions that can delight your customers. Looking across the network, there is a need to ensure that our infrastructure and enterprise can deliver upon the demand for our customers. Machine learning is also being used to monitor capacity, to proactively identify faults, and to ensure our resources are in the right place at the right time. Data monetization is a hot topic in telcos. Subscriber data contains rich information for external parties, with data products being created for external users. One such example are credit scoring models, which can be developed to predict the creditworthiness of customers. With appropriate customer consent, financial service companies can query these scores for customers who have no formal credit history. This is particularly useful in emerging regions where they are seeking to increase financial inclusion amongst the unbanked. Finally, there are classic use cases such as fraud prediction and churn prevention. Whilst age-old business problems, an effective machine learning operation can increase the pace of experimentation and the timeliness of intervention. To achieve these use cases, telcos are taking on ambitious programs of work to develop data products and to disseminate these outputs into business processes. To facilitate this, enterprises need to formalize their ML capabilities. But as businesses embrace machine learning across their organizations, manual workflows for building, training, and deploying models tend to become bottlenecks to innovation. Even a single ML model in production needs to be monitored, managed, and retrained to maintain the quality of predictions to keep up with changes in the environment and customer behavior. On top of this, providing data scientists secure access to data they need can delay projects for months. Without the right operational practices in place, these challenges can negatively impact data scientist productivity, model performance, and costs. One solution to this is the concept of MLOps. MLOps is a set of operational practices to automate and standardize model building, training, deployment, monitoring, management, and governance. A proper MLOps framework can help companies streamline the end-to-end ML lifecycle and boost productivity of data scientists and MLOps teams, whilst maintaining high model accuracy and enhancing security and compliance. At AWS, we orientate our MLOps framework around Amazon Sagemaker. Amazon Sagemaker provides purpose-built tools and built-in integrations with other AWS services, so you can adopt MLOps practices across your organization. Using Amazon Sagemaker, You can build continuous integration and delivery pipelines to reduce model management overhead. You can automate ML workflows to accelerate data preparation and model building, training, and experimentation. You can monitor the quality of ML models by automatically detecting bias, model drift, and concept drift. You can automatically track lineage of code, data sets, and model artifacts at every step of the ML lifecycle for governance. In short, an AWS MLOps framework can help you have the right data in the right place so that your data scientists can minimize data engineering time and get down to the business of modeling. Time to experiment is shortened so that models can be measured and reiterated quickly, speeding the path to business value. Deployment can be executed seamlessly, minimizing implementation error. And governance can be secured, particularly where transparency is paramount. But how do we extend machine learning across teams who may still be emerging in their skill sets and capabilities? As enterprises take on ambitious programs of work, analysts are increasingly expected to apply it to their data to improve business outcomes. Delays and inefficiencies in using these predictive insights can result in millions of dollars of lost revenue opportunities and cost savings every year. Until now, analysts wanting to develop high-quality machine learning-based predictions had to turn to expert data scientists to create and update ML models powering these insights. As a solution to this, we introduced Amazon Sagemaker Canvas. Amazon Sagemaker Canvas expands access to machine learning by providing business analysts with a visual point-and-click interface that allows them to generate accurate ML predictions on their own, without requiring any machine learning experience or having to write a single line of code. Business and data analysts can use Amazon Sagemaker Canvas to quickly connect to and access data from disparate sources and prepare data for building ML models. Sagemaker Canvas leverages powerful AutoML technology from Amazon Sagemaker, which automatically trains and builds models based on your dataset. This allows Sagemaker Canvas to identify the best model based on your dataset so that you can generate single or bulk predictions. Sagemaker Canvas is integrated with Sagemaker Studio, making it easy for business analysts to share models with data scientists. Sagemaker Canvas helps analysts within an enterprise, regardless of their technical skill, to create accurate machine learning models from disparate datasets and collaborate more effectively with data scientists. But enough from me. For now, let's talk about Maxis and their journey to operationalizing machine learning using Amazon Sagemaker.
Thank you, Timothy. Hi, my name is Adarsh Janakiraman, and I am an AI and machine learning consultant at AWS Professional Services. I help my customers accelerate their journey towards getting value from AI and ML. Every day, I get excited by the new and innovative use cases our customers are able to solve on cloud, and the small part we played in making that happen. Today, I want to share with you a very exciting collaboration I was part of in 2021. We will share a case study of how Maxis built a highly personalized offer recommendation engine and took it to production on AWS. This is Maxis' experience on the MLOps journey. Let's start with the background. Maxis had a problem. In a saturated Malaysian telco market, they were looking at fresh ways to accelerate revenue streams from their existing customer base, as they tended to purchase the same plans on a regular basis. They knew they had products which could provide more personalized value to their customers. But their legacy offer recommendation system was not able to bring them to the right customers who would purchase them. They needed a system that was more personalized to each customer and flexible enough to be able to respond to changes in their behavior. And to do this well, it would need access to these events as they happen in real time. Ultimately, it was not able to optimize offers for every customer at the right point in time. Thus, missed out on opportunities for value creation. To tackle these challenges, the Maxis AI team designed a new state-of-the-art recommendation engine with machine learning embedded at the core of their system. This new recommendation engine promised to solve the challenges of the old system. It would be personalized to each customer. It would optimize the personalized offers to maximize value for each customer. And it would be updated with the latest data to ensure it's as up-to-date as possible. Maxis brought together a team of data scientists who did a fabulous job in the research and development of this new system. During the POC, trials showed promising results, and the team was very excited to launch it for their entire base. However, they had challenges when it came to taking this new system to production. This is when the head of data and AI solutions at Maxis reached out to AWS to ask, but how do we move this to production and prove value in the real world? Now, this situation is in no way unique to Maxis. The 2019 report on deep learning on AWS by Nucleus Research, which surveyed over 300 enterprise teams running ML projects, found that only 38% of all AI ML POCs ever make it to production. Wow. Now let's dive a bit deeper into the specific challenges that the Maxis team had when it came to taking their machine learning model to production. The problem that the team brought to us was to help them solve the cost and performance challenges when it came to operationalizing the ML-enabled system. As is common with many R&D initiatives, the first iteration of the system was built on a monolith architecture with very tightly coupled data and machine learning pipelines. This design led to the team over-provisioning infrastructure for their entire pipeline instead of right-sizing instances for each task. It also made change management extremely risky, thus slow. Ultimately, this led to a negative ROI on the overall solution, as the cost of running this solution was greater than the projected revenue gains from deploying it. At this juncture, Maxis partnered with AWS Professional Services team to solve this problem together. At AWS Professional Services, we offer a high-touch partnership that aims to solve our customers' technology and business challenges. We are a group of technical experts that can advise our customers on technical nitty-gritties of running different workloads on the cloud and provide hands-on keyboard expertise to accelerate the journey to their technical goals. But what we care most about is achieving the business outcomes that matter to our customers. Talking about business outcomes, the primary business outcome that mattered to Maxis was the ability to extract long-term value from their ML products. For their bottom line, Maxis, of course, wanted to grow their revenue and at the same time reduce their total cost of ownership of the system, or TCO. To continue extracting long-term value, Maxis wanted to re-architect their entire implementation from a monolith architecture to a cloud-enabled service-based architecture. All of this was only viable in the long term if the team on the ground supporting it is also enabled on the same concepts. Thus, Maxis looked to AWS Professional Services to help enable their team on the ground on building cloud-native applications so that they can scale the success of this initiative to others in the future. To emphasize the speed at which we built, the entire project went from ideation to production in 4 months. To start with, AWS Professional Services, or ProServe, conducted a series of workshops with the Maxis team to deep dive into their existing challenges, understand the details of their current implementation, and put together a scope of work to remediate the issues found. The ProServe team mobilized a team of technical experts who leveraged industry best practices and the AWS well-architected framework to put together a prioritized backlog of activities. Once the scope was finalized, there was a joint effort by builders from Maxis and AWS ProServe to re-architect the system and connect upstream and downstream services, perform end-to-end testing, and bring this to production on AWS. All this in just 8 weeks. Phew. The new recommendation engine has been in production for more than 6 months now. After moving away from their monolith architecture, the newly enabled team members from the Maxis AI team were able to extend the current solution with new features. By taking this to production, Maxis was able to see the revenue uplift as expected. And cost being the biggest challenge to production implementation, after the implementation of the new solution, the overall TCO of the new solution reduced significantly, making the entire solution ROI positive. In the spirit of continuous improvement, the running costs are projected to decrease further in the future, as the Maxis team, with assistance from AWS ProServe, continues to find new avenues to optimize their running costs and improve the overall solution. That's all from me. Now I'll hand it back to Tim.
Thank you, Adarsh, for sharing the insightful story about Maxis' transformation. To help you think big and start small on your machine learning transformation, let's talk about how any enterprise can get started on their machine learning journey. Successful business outcomes from AI/ML depend on the careful selection of the right use case. We've already discussed the types of use cases common in the telco industry, but the key to a successful journey will be a set of business scenarios and objectives specific to your enterprise. AWS can help enterprises define and shape these scenarios through our Machine Learning Competency Center. Once we have a set of clear use cases and business objectives, we'll then need a methodical approach to building our AI/ML capabilities to solve these problems. At AWS, we utilize something called the well-architected framework. The AWS well-architected framework provides architectural best practices for designing and operating workloads in the cloud. The framework consists of 5 pillars. We look at operational excellence, the best way to run and monitor a workload. We look at security, to ensure the protection of your information systems and your assets. We look at reliability, to ensure that a workload performs its intended function correctly and consistently when it's expected to. We look at performance efficiency, to ensure the optimal use of computing resources, and we look at cost optimization so that we can minimize costs, maximize return on investment, and achieve business outcomes. Now, let's see how the well-architected framework can be applied to developing machine learning processes. We have already defined our business problems. We next need to frame these as machine learning problems. What is observed and what should be predicted? Determining what to predict and how performance must be optimized is a key step in this phase. Training an accurate ML model requires data processing to convert data into a usable format. This includes collecting data, preparing data, and feature engineering. That is the process of creating, transforming, extracting, and selecting variables from data. The well-architected process will help source and bring the correct data to the door of ML processes for feature exploration and execution. Now, then comes the fun part. Model development consists of the build, train, and release to staging and production environments. This is where Amazon Sagemaker Canvas comes in, providing business analysts with access to ML capabilities through a visual point-and-click interface. After a model is trained, tuned, evaluated, and validated, you can deploy the model into production. You can then make predictions and inferences against the model. And finally, a model monitoring system ensures your model is maintaining a desired level of performance through early detection and mitigation. Through the well-architected review process, we apply each of the 5 pillars to each of the stages of the machine learning lifecycle. We work with our customers to incrementally develop capabilities, often starting with one use case and broadening the framework across a wider program of work. So, how to get started? To apply the well-architected review across your machine learning journey, you can choose to engage either AWS professional services or AWS partners who are accredited in the well-architected framework. Whether you choose professional services or partners, the review process itself will coalesce around the business and the ML problem. It will look backwards to the current architecture and enterprise capabilities and understand what is working well and what should be enhanced. Wherever you are in your email journey to date, the review will quantify your baseline as a starting point for transformation. The review will recommend enhancements to the email lifecycle, from data processing to model development to deployment and to monitoring, culminating in a clear target state to aim for, centered around the business problems at hand. Finally, the review will prioritize and plan the enhancements. This will generally involve incremental shifts rather than grand-scale change. The goal is to find business value fast. Training and capability growth are a major part of any email journey, so immersion activities can be provided as needed alongside the technological change. And that brings us to the conclusion of our presentation. You have gathered that we are very passionate about machine learning and ML ops. Our mission is to help our customers succeed in the same way that Maxis has, in terms of extending AI/ML across your enterprise to achieve business success. We believe that Amazon Sagemaker is the ideal service to allow your data scientists and business analysts to achieve scale within the context of an ML ops framework to facilitate development, deployment, and monitoring. We believe that the well-architected framework is an ideal methodology to allow a collaborative start to your journey. To gain more confidence and hands-on experience with AWS, you can access more than 500 free digital courses and learning plans, and deepen your cloud skills with digital learning on demand. Validate your technical expertise with AWS and use practice exams to help you prepare for AWS certifications starting today. So thank you again for attending, and we really appreciate your feedback so that we can better understand the topics and services that you would like to know more about. So please do take the time to fill out our survey and let us know what you think. Thank you and goodbye.